The electric universe or the standard gravitational model, which is right? Gravity and star mechanics in the electric universe with Wall Thornhill. We've all been taught Einstein's standard model of the cosmos, but is it correct? Wall Thornhill and others would say no. Here are just a few things the electric universe model seems to do a better job of explaining. Let's start with gravity.
Gravity is like a form of magnetism, but at the subatomic level, and that's why you cannot shield it, because the particles don't care whether they're in a metal atom or a non-metal or whatever. They'll just daisy chain, if you like. So that's why you can't shield from gravity. All of this made sense, and it also showed me that you could explain how a gravitational system, which is inherently unstable, if one of the planets was to diverge off its orbit a tiny bit, there is absolutely nothing in the gravitational theory of Newton or Einstein to restore order. It will continue to leave its clockwork path until the whole system falls apart. No, actually this what I call the longitudinal force, it's like the difference between waving on a rope, which is light, and pulling on the rope. You know, if you have two people either end of a rope and you wave one end, it takes some time for the wave to reach the other end. Whereas if you tug on it, the other person feels it very quickly. And this is another aspect of the electric universe. It makes sense of light and gravity, and gravity operates instantly. If there's any delay in the force of gravity, the solar system would fly apart quite rapidly, because all of the planets would be pulled to where the objects no longer are. As I said, if gravity is a repulsive force between celestial bodies, then the question is, well, why do they go into orbit? You know, they should just avoid each other. The answer is that it's the inward pressure from all the other repulsive objects in the universe which forces you towards the sun, and the sun pushes you away.
Now let's take a look at star mechanics.
Now, the electric universe paints a completely different picture of what a star is. Certainly it's not a thermonuclear bomb going off slowly. The very idea that massive bodies like the sun would have a core of the lightest element known, hydrogen, is a pretty silly model. You know, it was a kind of desperation model, because when it was invented back in the early 1900s, the geologists were throwing up this problem of the Earth seemed to, from their measurements, be older and older than anyone thought. And then they said, but hang on a minute, how can the sun keep burning for that length of time? So when nuclear energy was discovered, of course the geologists and everyone grasped it like drowning men as a solution to this problem of how do you keep the sun burning for the geological time spans necessary. Well, the electric universe says that this just assumes that all stars are isolated objects with no connection to anything else, and that therefore they have to burn like a campfire in the sky. So the thermonuclear model is just a modern version of the old campfire in the sky legend. The electric universe says, no, everything is connected in more ways than are understood at present, and one of them is via these Birkeland filaments, as they're known to plasma physicists. And they're these plasma filaments that you see in a plasma ball, only in deep space, because of the huge volume of space, those filaments expand and they stop glowing so that you can't see them. But radio astronomers can detect them by their influence on radio signals. So they're out there, and the sun is tangled up in one of them, and that's what helps it shine, because the stars act like a focus for an electric discharge. The sun is like a circuit element, like a street light in the galaxy. You know, it's there. It's It's shining, but it's shining because it's connected to the current flowing in along the spiral arms to the center of the galaxy.
Brought to you by the Grimerica Show. For the full interview with Wal Thornhill, check out www.grimerica.ca.